morning.
Good morning.
Boy, every time I walk by Janice this morning, I've been handing her money. She really likes this. She's holding the money for Christopher. So, yeah. And Jan, do we have a current tally?
Not exactly.
But it's getting really close to 1,200, right? That is wonderful. I had hoped for 5, and that's just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, well, actually, I wasn't going to talk about him until a little bit later, but I'll do it anyway. Because normally we have a guest speaker today, but Christopher's not here today. It's okay. And he was in the hospital for the last couple of days. Severe nosebleed, like really bad. So he's more stable. I think it's just a bump in the road, but he'll be okay. But he can't be here today. So, but he does send his love.
I'm just crying because of his generosity.
I know. I know.
Amazing.
It really is very, very cool. Very, very cool.
And even so, it's just a small token.
Oh yeah. I know. Do you want to talk or? Yeah, yeah. We do have a couple of patron saints, John Lennon and George Carlin. And John, where's John? Oh, there he is. As usual, there is a great woman behind every idiot. There you go. And George, where am I here? Okay. All right. Okay. When someone is impatient and says, I haven't got all day, I always wonder, how can that be? How can you not have all day? I don't know. When Thomas Edison worked late into the night on the electric light, he had to do it by a gas lantern or a candle. I'm sure it made the work that much more urgent. So, probably. So, the last things that we have, at least right now, about what Washington is. Because, of course, we have international viewers, which is just kind of peculiar to me sometimes. Hello, Australia, Germany, Japan, Eurasia.
Brazil added this morning.
Brazil, hello. Gosh, Washington. We're up in the northwest section of the continental United States. Nope, Washington, Alaska. Well, it's not. That's not contiguous. You're right. Continental. True. Yeah. Okay. Washington has been the host to the World's Fair twice: 1962 in Seattle and 1974 in Spokane. And Spokane was the smallest city in size to host a World's Fair in 1974. Washington, the 42nd state in the Union, is the only state named for a president. This is kind of interesting. Before it became a state, the territory was called Columbia, named after the Columbia River. When it was granted statehood, the name was changed to Washington, supposedly so people wouldn't confuse it with the District of Columbia. For those of you out there, now they confuse us with Washington, D.C. So, yeah. It worked really well. Washington residents are educated. It's the state with the most residents holding high school diplomas. Seattle heads the country in residents with more college degrees per capita. Washington state insect is? Insect? Washington state insect? Okay, it's the green darner dragonfly.
All right.
So, yeah. Zilla has the oldest operating gas station in the United States. That isn't still working, is it? No. I didn't. Yeah, I think they lied. They lied. Yeah. It still has the oldest gas station, but they moved it, and so now it's just there as a monument to something. Are they still looking for another space? Zilla is just northwest of us here, so west-northwest, something like that. He gives twice who gives promptly. He gives twice who gives promptly. Publius Syrus, the 1st century BC. Smart people. Smart people. A guest sticks a nail in the wall even if he stays but one night. True. Men show their character in nothing more clearly than by what they think laughable. That wasn't funny? Oh, okay. The song Happy Birthday to You was originally written by sisters Mildred and Patty Hill as Good Morning to You. The words were changed when it was published in 1935. Annual royalties for the song, drum roll please, averaged $2 million. Wow. Somebody write a song and put me as their benefactor or something. Excuse me, write a good song. Be careful what you ask for. I'm picky, yeah, what the heck. Frontiersmen had no time for, nor did they really get too excited about, haircuts. Most would just rather gather their hair in a crude knot laced with a strip of rawhide. No? Okay. When it grew so long that it bothered them, they would cut it off with a hunting knife. It was common for a pioneer man to have rough cut hair hanging down their necks, and it became a practice to call these people roughnecks. A roughneck was usually loud and rowdy, so the name eventually came to mean a bully or a tough guy, no matter how his hair looked. Roughneck. It is better than a redneck. It is better than a redneck. More Will Rogers. After eating the entire bowl, a mountain lion felt so good, he started roaring. He kept it up until a hunter came along and shot him. Moral, when you're full of bull, keep your mouth shut. That's good. That's good. Here, can you actually read that?
Only half of it.
I actually saw that and could read it, which is weird. Eventually, you will reach a point when you stop lying about your age and start bragging about it. You know what's weird is really all you can see is a little portion of the upper line here, and I actually just looked at it and read it. But then in my business, Jan and I are volunteers here just like everybody else for almost 16 years. Hard to believe. In my business, I take a new piece of paper that I've never seen before, turn it around on my desk, and start reading it upside down and, of course, backwards to my clients. Wow. I don't know how I did that. I don't know how I do that, but... Well, that's one word for it. Okay. More moron stories. Let's see, we had, the guy that kidnapped people and went to his own bank accounts. A man walked into a Topeka can. I did that one, so okay, here I go. Police in Los Angeles had good luck with a robbery suspect who just couldn't control himself during a lineup. When detectives asked each man in the lineup to repeat the words, "Give me all your money or I'll shoot," the man shouted, "That's not what I said." Okay. A man spoke frantically into the phone. "My wife is pregnant and her contractions are only 2 minutes apart." "Is this your first child?" Is this her first child? The doctor asked. "No," the man shouted, "this is her husband." I think he was stressed. Might be a little stressed. Not sure, but might be. So, what's going on this week? Memorial Day's tomorrow. Everybody know what Memorial Day is all about? Do you? Do you know where it came from? It actually was started in about 1861, and actually it came from the Civil War. If you can imagine. 750,000 people from this country killed each other. Hard to believe. Absolutely hard to believe. But other countries are continually trying to best us, I guess. But actually I've got a cool statement here about that. And we'll do something here in a couple of minutes about Memorial Day. What I've learned as a historian is how much the present is a product of the past, and the extraordinary actions that individuals have taken on our behalf. We are the beneficiaries of what they've done, and it behooves us to try to carry on their commitment and their belief in this nation. Cool. Because no matter what you think about this country, a lot of people have died to preserve what we have. So, and for me to stand up here and say the things I do. Is this it? Oh, Claudia. This is Claudia's last Sunday here. She's moving. So we will miss you. Thank you. And who else was supposed to do something for me? Was it Marianne? Okay. I knew somebody was here.
There's a Qigong tape that plays in the morning about 9:10 in the morning here, and I come here now and then to work with it. I've had a number of Qigong classes, and a friend of mine, Beth Clark, you may know, who's a massage therapist among other things, also has studied Qigong, and we're going to be doing a free clinic next Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4, where we're going to do like 15-20 minute healing sessions. This is energy healing, which I come from a scientific world, and it's still hard for me to believe, but it really works. Anyway, if anybody's interested in having a session like this, I've got a sign-up sheet. We only have room for about 12, maybe 18 maximum during that time. My sign-up sheet has room for 12. I've got several slots filled. If you're interested in signing up for that, please do it. If you're interested in something for the future, want to be on our contact list for future clinics, this one's free. We may not do another free one, I don't know. Anyway, feel free to write your name on, and you can use the back of that paper if we go with more than what I've allowed as far as numbers. So anyway, I'm going to send around the list, and I'll send around from here. And if you're interested, please sign up.
Thank you. I wanted to read something. It does and it doesn't have to do with Memorial Day, but then it's certainly pertinent to things that are going on right now. This was written by Christopher Hayes from the Huffington Post, and it is about terrorism, which I suppose certainly could have something to do with what we are doing in the next couple of days for Memorial Day. And I'm going to get up to here where we are. Terrorism as a category has got, and I've seen few things that have been written that I really liked as much as this, the way he described everything. So, if I can get to it. Terrorism as a category has gotten massively stretched until it's almost lost its meaning in this day and age. But there is a real reason why it is a specific category. Terror does something particularly horrible to a populace. It is designed to incite a reaction, one in which people are put in their worst places as citizens. It's a place where they are acting out of fear. Psychologists have found that when people feel safe and secure, they become more liberal. And when they feel threatened, they become more conservative. I'm getting a yes from somebody that knows more than me. We know from our recent experience that 9/11 emboldened the right wing. What we're seeing in England right now in the wake of this vicious attack is that hard-right elements of British politics are gaining strength. The English Defence League didn't just stage these protests. The Defence League's website proclaims we are at war, and its leader is getting a platform. What terror seeks to do is to polarize the world so that everyone has to join different camps of extremists, and those extremists feed off each other in a symbiotic relationship. Terror seeks to provoke violence, provoke rage, provoke fear, provoke overreaction, provoke tribalism, and knee-jerk reactions. And what it seeks to snuff out is empathy and reason and fidelity to principles of liberty and calmness. But what made this crazy story so remarkable was a woman, Ingrid Kennett, who confronted one of the alleged attackers. She was staring this man in the face and engaged him in a conversation before police arrived. She didn't cower. She didn't run. She didn't even succumb to rage. She just looked terror in the eyes and essentially said calmly, "You will lose." Wow. I seldom have seen things written quite that well, but I really, really liked it. So there. 5 surgeons from big cities, now we'll just kind of boom right over past that, huh? 5 surgeons from big cities are discussing who makes the best patients to operate on. We have somebody new, we have kids, There's only a couple words in here. I think we'll be okay. Somebody will probably throw something at me if I'm not. But and Jan's too far away, so she can't. So, the first surgeon from New York says, "I'd like to see I like to see accountants on my operating table because you open them up and everything is numbered." The second from Chicago responds, "Yeah, you should try electricians. Everything inside them is color-coded." The third surgeon from Dallas says, "Nah, I really think librarians are the best. Everything inside them is in alphabetical order." The fourth surgeon from Los Angeles chimes in, "You know, I like construction workers. Those guys always understand when you have a few parts left over." But the fifth surgeon from Washington, D.C., shut them all up when he observed, "You're all wrong. Politicians are the easiest to operate on. There's no guts, no heart, no balls, no brains, no spine, plus the head and the ass are interchangeable." So there. Huh? And take that, the rest of the world just heard that from me, so. And we try not to do anything too political in here, but that's about as far as it goes. There, it worked. It worked. First time. Wow. Let's sing. Apparently, one Sunday when I wasn't here, and there's only been one in the last year, apparently this song was played. I've never heard it before. It's a different version of Forever Young. So some of you have heard of it.
I mean,
I know. You just get tired of it. So I still like the